to another episode of Louisiana High School football preview show that we're going to be doing over here at Rougarou Sports Media. I'm the founder of Rougarou Sports Media and your main podcast host, Grant Chachere. If you guys are not familiar with me, you guys probably see me working with Louisiana Football Magazine or working with Gridiron Football in the past. But I started this as soon as I graduated from college, not only to get some content up for my upcoming career, but also to produce content for all the fans that enjoy watching sports across the state, especially high school football, which is a big part of the sports landscape here in the Boot. The next school we're going to talk about is McDonald 35, right in the 7th Ward of New Orleans. McDonald 35 is one of the more historic high schools in the city. For many of you guys don't know, it's actually the first public school that was built for African Americans in the city of New Orleans. Remember, this is back during Jim Crow laws in the American South, which is a pretty dark cloud in our nation's history. But when you have to deal with that type of stuff back then, you have to start building stuff from the ground up. And McDonald 35 was established to educate black kids, especially black teenagers, because there really wasn't many public schools that were designed for African Americans at the time. There were only 3 private schools. There were only 3 private schools that taught African Americans, but unfortunately you had to pay because it's private. So they converted one of the elementary schools that was for white children into a high school that was meant to educate African American teenagers. That's how McDonald 35 was born. But McDonald 35 also has a pretty rich history in football as well. They produced a lot of great players, and they also just put in another guy into the NFL, Lawrence Keys, for the Tulane Green Wave, where he was a key member of one of the more successful runs in the program history, which included a Cotton Bowl victory a couple years ago and a conference championship, and back-to-back 10-plus win seasons. 35 is led by head coach Frank Daggs, who's, in my opinion, one of the best coaches in terms of developing players for the next level, whether it's college, and when they leave college, a lot of those sometimes they even go to pro, as I just mentioned, Lawrence Keys. And I also want to shout out to Coach Dags, as the head coach at 35, he was able to graduate his first senior class, and every single one of his kids graduated. So I want to give a huge shout out to Coach Dags. I saw that he posted that on Twitter, so I just want to make sure I gave a quick shout out on the show. But even though they're going to lose a bunch of players in the offense, he's returning a lot of players on the defense, 7 to be exact. Some players you need to watch out for on the defense are Simeon Washington, Deshaun Dales. Both those guys are DBs. Linebacker Keith Newsom, Jacoby Anderson. All those guys I just mentioned are seniors. Another guy you need to watch out for is junior defensive back Justin Ross. He's another very talented player for this Roneagle football team, and I think he's gonna have a big year, especially with all the guys around him, and they'll be able to mentor him. I know he played a lot last year as a sophomore, but being able to play under a bunch of seniors will help his development grow even more. But on offense, they don't really return a whole lot. They only return 4 starters on the offense. One of those guys is Jakai Anderson. Jakai Anderson is one of the top receivers, not only in the state, but in the country. He's already picked up some big-time offers, including from LSU, also known to many as wide receiver U. And he's also the younger brother of Jacoby Anderson, so he'll be able to play football with his brother for one more year before they go their separate ways. Obviously, Jacoby is getting offers from multiple colleges as well. Unless he gets unless he gets some offers that like Jakai is gonna be getting, probably won't be able to play each other. But who knows? You never know what happens in the recruiting room. You just don't know. They could end up either playing against each other or playing with each other. Who knows? But they also return. But the Roneagles also returned 3 stars on offensive line. So even though they will lose a good bit of their stars on offense, they will be able to bring back 3 of their offensive linemen, which is a pretty big thing. If you're going to lose a bunch of starters, I think the best thing that can happen is if you return your offensive line, because that's you're able to stabilize some of the new stars that are coming in. Including at quarterback, running back, and helps them keep them nice and clean. But anyway, that's gonna give a wrap count for the preview. I'm gonna show you some interviews, including with Coach Frank Daggs, as well as some of his players. Hope y'all enjoy, and also make sure to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And also make sure to follow us on every single social media platform you can find. Hey guys, I'm with McDonald 35 head coach Frank Daggs. Coach, what have you seen from your team so far this spring?
We got to be more consistent. We got to play every play. Once we be able to do that and do what we need to do, we have a good team. We're very young in spots, and they have to gel and get right.
Speaking of the young and inexperienced, on the offense, you guys only returned 4 stars. Including Jakai Anderson, who's one of the top receivers in the country. But of those 4 stars, 3 of them are offensive line. So what does it mean to your offense that's not really bring back all of their stars from last year, and to have 3 offensive linemen to kind of help bolster that offense?
Well, they have to catch up and grow up early. We got a real tough schedule. We'll come on and play Terrebonne next week. That'd be a good test right there. We have a good summer, and after a good summer, we come on and play some good teams. We got Everett for the fall scrimmage. And that'd be our measure stick from that point,
But you guys do return a lot of bodies on the defense. So will this be kind of more of a defensive-led team this year compared to last season?
Well, I think we have enough leaders on both sides of the ball, so they're going to have to lead each other, We can't play a game for them. We put them in the right position, they have to make the plays,
All right, guys, I'm here with McDonald 35 wide receiver Jakai Anderson, along with his brother, cornerback Jacoby Anderson. Guys, from your perspective on each side of the ball, how has the team looked so far this spring?
We're looking good. We just got to get to that point where we're great. We're good right now, but you got to get to that point where we're great. We got a lot of things to work on, especially probably communicating. I'd say the most. That's it for us.
This year we gotta work to that level to get greater, because everybody don't believe us. The people right here who we playing with just believe us, so we gotta do everything to be greater.
And Jacoby, I know this is your last year playing for the Roneagles. What does it mean to play with your brother?
It's always a good feeling to play with my brother. I've been playing with my brother since I was real young, since 4 years old. So it's been always a good feeling to go win some games with him, compete against him at practice.
And Jakai, I know you've gotten a lot of love from colleges, but one of the schools has been LSU. What does it mean to get offered from a school like LSU that is known as wide receiver U?
Man, it's great. I got offered my sophomore year. It just feels great getting that love from Coach Hanklin and the head coach. Yeah, it's just great.
Jacoby, I know you've also gotten some love from schools too. What has been that process like, and what advice have you given to Jakai?
I told him to keep working. He's gonna be one of the top players in the state for real. He's only 26 and he's that good. He's gonna be one of the top players in the state for real. And all the coaches, they like how I play, so they say I can play at that D1 level, so we gotta see.
Hey guys, I'm here with McDonald 35 linebacker Keith Newsom. Keith, what have you seen from the defense so far this spring?
What I see is competitive, urgency, and a lot of fight.
And this season, you're a senior and you're stepping to a new role as one of the senior leaders of the team. So how have you adjusted into that role?
Making sure my guys not lagging, not just on the field, but in the classroom too. And just being on their back when they need it.
I was talking to Coach earlier, and he says you guys have over 20 seniors in the senior class. So, what has it been like? What has it been like for you guys going to your last year of football?
It's been good. That means we're gonna have a lot of leaders this year, so we should have a great season.
And I know on the offense you guys lost a lot of players from the year before. What have you seen from the offensive side of the ball from your perspective as a defensive player?
I really don't see no change. I mean, we still look the same. We just need a little work. But that's it. When the team come together, it's gonna shine.
Hey guys, I'm here with McDonald 35 defensive lineman Lyndon Valerie. Lyndon, so how has the defense looked so far this spring from your perspective?
The defense, man, it's looking promising this year. Last year we had we had almost no yards on us. I'm trying to get it to no yards entirely, or no points, whichever one will come first.
And I know on the offense you got they've lost a lot of players, but they have 3 returning stars from the year before. So how has the offensive line helped the defensive line throughout the spring?
Well, from my perspective, the more hard they go on us, the better we get, and the better we do, the better the team get, and the farther we get into the playoffs.
And I know you're a senior this year, and there's also 20 other seniors, including yourself, that'll be on this team this year. So what goals have you guys set as a senior class for this upcoming fall?
Firstly, we want to try and win that MVP. We want to try and get to that zone. Mainly, we want to try and get no points scored on us. Try and get everything situated. Because you know how sometimes one person might do it, but the other not. You got to hold each other accountable.
And in the last season, you guys with the quarterfinals. So what was that run like for you guys, especially for going to this year? How does that motivate you going into this fall?
Every year we got one step closer to getting to the playoffs. One year we had lost in the first round. That was my freshman year. The next year we got to the second round. Next we got to the third round. Now we got to go try and get it all the way.